Hello my dear students. In this video we shall look into the process of budgeting in India. In the modern world, every government aims at maximizing the welfare of its country. It requires a number of infrastructural, economics and welfare activities. All these activities require huge expenditure to be incurred, and this requires the appropriate planning and policy of the government. The solution to all these problems is budget. A budget is a document containing the detailed programs and policies of action for the given fiscal year. Coming into the origin of the word budget, it got derived from the French word budget, meaning a leather bag carrying official papers. This term was used in its present sense for the first time in 1733, titled Open the Budget, pointed the financial planning for that year. So as I said before, a budget is an estimation of the revenue and expenses over a specified future period of time. A budget can be made for a family, business, country, or anything else that makes and spends money. So when you look over here, it is just an example for budget. For example, for investment 27%, research 23%, management 14%, salary. This, as far as this picture is concerned, it is about the companies. So it goes along with the family or the country as well. So coming into the academic meaning of the term budget, it is a predetermined statement of management policy during a given period which provides a standard for comparison with the results actually achieved. And budgeting is a part of the management process which includes the preparation of budget, budget control, budget coordination, and all those activities that are related with budget. When we look into a closer look of the term budgeting, it is just setting targets to cover all aspects of costs and revenues. The process of budgeting often starts with the predicted revenue, previous experience, or even knowledge. There is a cost ceiling set to allow for desired area of profit. And by the way, I hope you would have understand the term now. So there are many definitions given for budget. According to Professor Dimmock, a budget is a balanced estimate of expenditures and receipts of a given period of time. In the hands of administration, the budget is a record of past performance, a method of current control, and a projection of future plans. So the budget has got its past, present, and future as well. In the Indian Constitution, a budget has been referred to as the annual financial statement of the estimated receipts and expenditure of the Government of India or of a state government in the respect of a financial year. So the constitutional provisions related to budget. Article 112, you have to remember this article. It deals with the annual financial statement and it provides that in respect of every financial year, the President shall cause to be laid before both the houses of the Parliament a statement of the estimated receipts and expenditure of the Government of India for that year, referred to as the annual financial statement. So the India's first budget was presented on April 7th, 1860 by the British government. The first union budget of independent India was given by Sir R.K. Shanmugam Chetty on November 26, 1947 at 5 p.m. Coming into the history of Indian budget, Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister to present the budget when he held the Union Finance Minister portfolio in 1958 to 59. Morarji Desai has presented the maximum number of budgets so far, it means almost 10. The concessions for poor was done by VP Singh as a finance minister. Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi have presented the budget while serving as the Prime Minister of India. Corporate tax, today is known as minimum alternate tax, was first introduced by Rajiv Gandhi in 1987 budget. And one more important thing here is the dream budget, the Union Budget of India for the year 97-98, because it was the roadmap for economic reforms in India, including dropping of income tax rates, removal of the surcharge on corporate taxes, and reduce the corporate tax rates. So this picture highlights the importance of the budget, the strategies, the monitoring, capital plans, and other things. Coming into the basic principles for budgeting, it must have the comprehensiveness, accuracy, annuality, authoritativeness, transparency, and predictability. The key points of budget includes the farmer, infrastructure, financial sector, industry, tax proposals, and personal income tax. So, why this budget is so important? A government budget directly or indirectly affects all citizens, but particularly the poorest and most marginalized. Even when funds are allocated to pro-poor policies, money does not always reach the beneficiaries due to poor management. So, the budget work is an important tool for advocacy efforts to hold the governments accountable and to look after the public welfare. So, the budget has its own importance, like planning future course of action, coordination in various departments. It serves as a guide for action. It helps in decision making, helps in projected objectives. It is a tool for communication, and it identifies the problems area. This picture gives you the importance of budgeting in a nutshell. It sets standards for controlling the cost, allows the regular comparisons between the estimated and actual cost, allows timely adjustments to programs and services. It must be done to establish tax rates, ensures the realistic planning and estimates, communicates council's plans to others. It provides an opportunity for evaluation of programs and services. So, as far as the objectives of the government budget are concerned, it comprises of the reallocation of the resources, reducing the inequalities in income and wealth. It provides the economic stability, and it deals with the management of public enterprises. The components of budget refers to the structure of budget. The two main components are the revenue budget and the capital budget. The revenue budget deals with the revenue aspect of the government budget, and the revenue budget has two parts called as revenue receipts and revenue expenditures. The capital budget deals with the capital aspect of the government budget, and it consists of again the capital receipts and capital expenditure. So these two components should be remembered very well. So again, the components of the government budget is being reflected over here. The receipts and expenditure, which includes the revenue account, capital account, revenue expenditure, capital expenditure. So the thing has been highlighted over here under each category. You can have a closer look at the revenue account, the capital account, and what all been included under those categories. So these are the examples for the direct tax and the indirect tax. So as far as the process in the preparation of budget is concerned, the budget estimates are prepared by the Ministry of Finance. Based on the estimated income and expenditure of various ministries and departments, it will be sent to the Minister of Finance. It will prepare the budget presented by the Finance Minister to the Cabinet for approval, and finally the budget will be ready for presentation to the Parliament. So there is a term called the budget cycle, which consists of 4 phases like the budget preparation, budget legislation, budget execution, and budget accountability. So this is the important thing. The preparation of budget, it contains 3 types of accounts, namely the actual for the preceding year, revised budget estimates for the current year, and budget estimates for the coming year. A government budget is defined as a legal document that is passed by the legislature and approved by the chief executive or the president. The government budget comprises of the revenue budget and the capital budget. So this is the first step. Second one is the enactment of the budget, which means the legalization of the budget prepared and presented by the finance minister to the legislature. Budget is an instrument of parliamentary control over the financial activities of the government. No tax can be levied and no expenditure incurred by the central government without the prior approval of the parliament. This is the major objective of the budget. So finally, how the budget is being executed is when the budget has passed by the legislature, the execution of the budget begins, which means raising the revenue and controlling the spending of the government departments. The executive department get a green signal to collect the revenue and start spending money on approved schemes. Advantages and disadvantages of budgeting. Coming to the advantages, it forces the managers to focus on the planning aspects of the business. It helps the management. It provides the benchmarks against which performance can be evaluated. And finally, it promotes the communication and coordination within the organization. And it goes well with the government as well. Coming into the disadvantages, it consumes a good deal of time. It may lead to excessive reliance on extrapolation of current trends. It may promote a slash and burn mentality in tough times. It may lead to budget slack if used for performance evaluation. So there are some concepts called the traditional budgeting and the zero-based budgeting based on the differences of emphasis, approach, focus, communication and method. So traditional budgeting says how much, but zero-based budgeting why. It operates only vertical communication. The zero-based budgeting operates both in horizontally and vertically. So as far as that zero-based budgeting, what you need to know is it prioritizes government objectives and goals, starts from the ground level. It consumes a lot of time in planning and it eliminates the inefficiencies. Coming into the interesting facts about Indian budget, the budget was first introduced in India on 7th April 1860 from East India Company to British Crown. On February 1869, Mr. Wilson was the Finance Minister of India Council that advised the Indian Viceroy. He was a Scottish businessman, economist and liberal politician. He founded The Economist and the Standard Chartered Bank. So here you look into the different interesting facts about the Union Budget of India from 1860. 10 times Morarji Desai presented the budget. In 1860, the then Finance Minister of India, James Wilson, presented the first budget of India. The first Union Budget of India was presented by R.K. Shanmugam Chetty. February 20, 1970, Indira Gandhi was the first woman Finance Minister to present the budget. During 1887 to 89, Rajiv Gandhi presented the budget after VP Singh quit his government. The longest budget speech was delivered by former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh during his tenure as Finance Minister in 1991. It comprises of 18,650 words. Finance Minister Yashwant Sinha changed the time of the budget presentation from 5 p.m. to 11 a.m. Since then, this tradition has continued. In 2017, the railway budget, which was presented separately for 92 years, got amalgamated with the general budget. So again, the first budget, Prime Minister who presented the budget, the change of time, the first budget of the Republic of India. So the shortest speech of budget, the dream budget, the literary inspirations and economic aspirations of budget in India. You can have a look at it. Manmohan Singh quoted the French poet Victor Hugo in the 91-92 budget speech. Mr. P. Chidambaram quoting Tamil poet and philosopher Thiruvalluvar in the 1996-97 budget speech. Yashwant Sinha quoting the former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee in 1999-2000 budget speech. So now you can have a closer look of the Union Budget of 2019 to 20, 20 to 21. How does the rupee comes from, and budget as a glance of 22 to 23. Coming into the summary, the Finance Minister of India presents the annual Union Budget in the Parliament on the last working day of February. The budget has to be passed by the Lok Sabha before it can come into effect on 1st of April, the start of India's fiscal year. The Union Budget is preceded by an economic survey which outlines a broad direction of the budget and the economic performance of the country for the outgoing financial year. Hope the concept of budget is very clear to you. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video with another important topic.